Hello everyone. Today we are going to see on the topic called as wireless access networks on the course called as wireless communication networks. Myself B.M. Rajesh, Assistant Professor, Department of Information Technology, Dr. NGP Arts and Science College. So today what we are going to see it is in this video we are going to see the elements of wireless systems, like we talk about the transmitter, frequency spectrum, modulation, antenna, and we are not only going to see about the transmitters. Of course we are going to see a lot about medium, like we talk about the propagation and attenuation, as well as the receiver, where we have different types of receivers in wireless sensor networks. We talk about the antennas, demodulation issues and constraints. So whenever we talk about the wireless access network, which is helping you across to transfer one data from one network to another network. So whenever we talk about two types of communication protocols, we have the transmission control protocol as well as the user datagram protocol. We say your transmission control protocol as your TCP IP, and we have your UDP as your user datagram protocol, which is a wireless network, which is a connectionless network. And when you talk about your TCP IP, which is a connection oriented service. So transfer of data between two plus points that are connected by any electronic conductors, maybe we do not say it is going to be a connection oriented service. Okay, and typically using a electromagnetic waves, which is helping across to travel and transfer the data signals from one network to another network. So you should be able to know why there is importance of wireless networks. So running cables are not always possible, you know it. Every time we cannot carry the cables to have internet connectivity, and maybe like to have less footprints, we can go into say wireless networks, and rapid reconfiguration and low cost are some of the advantages when you talk about your wireless sensor networks also. So you talk about, we talk about something called as wireless access networks, and in ancient times and all, we didn't had such kind of networks. We had only TCP/IP networks. We didn't had UDP protocols. We had smoke signals. We have carrier pigeons and all, which was used to carry the information from one network to another network. So which were like we have the radios, which was invented in 1880s by Marconi, which was used to have the radio frequency signals to travel the electromagnetic communications from one data network to another network using the electromagnetic signals. So many sophisticated military radio signals were developed during after World War II, which was helping you across to have the communication over the network. So exponential growth in cellular systems since 1988 was some of the advantages when you talk about your communication network signals, and lighted wireless revolutions of voice, data, and multimedia are some of the examples of your wireless access network. So 6.8 billion subscribers worldwide as on February 2013. That was a small census which was taken by the ITU, which were telling like say about about say 3.5 billion subscribers in Asia Pacific in 2013 were using your wireless sensor networks. So some of the examples of future wireless networks, you can see that today everywhere you can see wireless networks. Without wireless, that's nothing. So a common communication among people and devices is very important nowadays. So when you wanted to have good communication over the network, so definitely you need maybe the advancement of your Internet of Things, which is next generation cellulars. So wireless internet access, wireless multimedia, sensor networks, smart homes, automated highways, and you have your RFID, which has been on the signals. So all these are some of the examples of your wireless sensor networks. So not only these, like you talk about your wireless sensor networks, which are your telemetry control and traffic control systems. As I was just telling you in the signals, we have the infrared and ultrasonic remote control devices. We have the professional LMR, that is your land mobile radio, and we have a SMR, specialized mobile radio. And we have consumers two-way radios, airband radio navigation equipments, amateur radio services, ham radios, cellular telephone and pages, global positioning systems, cordless computer peripherals. These are some examples of your wireless access points. So not only that one, okay, not only that one, we are also getting in touch about the elements of your wireless systems. So every time you can see that you have a transmitter and we have many receivers. There may be one transmitter, one sender. In other words, we can call, and we have different types of receivers. So a transmitter and receiver, between a transmitter and receiver, there is something called a medium. So that particular medium may be an access point. It could be a router, it could be a gateway, it could be a switch, it could be any such kind of a gateway devices which is helping across to travel and transfer the communication from one network to another network. So attenuation of speed is again important, and antenna is also important to travel and transfer the data communications from one network to another network. So we have the transmitters, we have the high frequency oscillators, we have the amplifiers, we have the modulators, we have the power amplifiers, which is helping across to increase the bandwidth of particular sensor networks. So say for example the transmitter is having a less bandwidth, so if the receiver requires to have maximum input and taking the throughput from the transmitter, so definitely we will be using some kind of modulators and amplifiers which is helping you across to increase the speed. So that is very important. To increase the speed is very important in terms of your wireless sensor networks. So not only this one, elements which is depends on the transmission technology, we have the frequency and the wavelength. So we talk about the modulation, we talk about the antennas. So all these are some of the examples which is helping across how the wireless access networks is helping across to communicate between one network to another network. So here in the next slide we can see a topic called as your frequency spectrum, where we talk about the range of available frequencies. That is very important. So those days we had radios which was 10 to the power of 3. That was the modulation of range. So later we were increased our size from radio to microwave. From there we increased to infrared. From there we increased our presentation to visible and ultraviolet. And today we are into X-rays and gamma rays. That is a high frequency modem specification which is having a high bandwidth of speed. So range of available frequencies to avoid interference, various wireless technologies use distinct various frequency bands. So signal power is also well, which has been controlled, which is helping across to have good communication from one network to another network. So antennas plays very important role in terms of your wireless access networks, which converts your signals into electromagnetic waves. Size must be consistent into the wavelength, where we have the some kind of antennas where we talk about your types called as your directions, which could be satellite communication, which could be omnidirection, cell phone, car radios, and which could be MIMO wireless routers also. So these are some examples when you talk about your antennas. Antennas are of different categories, and today we have antennas which is very highly sensible, which is easy to capture the data, even if there are certain hurdles also. So some complex attenuations are also important whenever we talk about your wireless access network. So some complex attenuations where we have the signal encounter obstacles, where we have the high frequency signal experience, we have the absorption, we have shadowing, when object we have reflection, when object we have refraction, we have diffraction, we have scattering, where we have objects. So these are some kind of attenuations, or I can say that some kind of complex attenuations which is helping across to be an obstacle in terms of your wireless sensor networks. So in wireless sensor networks, here you can see some kind of absorptions where we have your less amplitude, we have shadowing. So if there is a tree over there, then definitely you may not get a good proper bandwidth and good proper signals also. So maybe because of that also you can lose your signals. So maybe that may be one of the reason where we see that your signal may be lost. And over here you can see a common attenuation where you have a small example how the signals has been passed from one range to another range, and when we are starting to moving from one network to another network, how the signal is getting propagated. So another examples of complex attenuation, say you have a mountain, so there is one tower on the other side, and you have another tower or the range which is on the beside side of the mountain. So sometimes when there is a big hurdle like a mountain like this, then definitely there may be less signal, and maybe the loss of signal may be due to such things. So these can be called as your diffractions, and scattering is also one such kind of an example where you can see the data is getting not good throughput over there. So crosstalk between channels are also important, where we have a impulse noise due to your instantaneous electromagnetic changes, where you can have the signal may be lost over there. So signal to noise ratio is again very important. Okay, to cope up with transmitted signals, and it should be the transmitted signal should be always greater than the noise. So high signal to noise ratio is very important. Which we say that as a SNR, and use spread spectrum technology, embedded signal over wide range of frequencies with low power signals. So these are some examples when you talk about your signal to noise ratio, how the data has been measured in terms. So not only this one, we should be able to understand what is multiplexing, how frequency division multiplexing is being used, where TDMA, called as a time division multiplexing, is being used, and the most prominent one we say that as a CDMA, we talk about your code division multiplexing. So these three types of multiplexing is very important when you wanted to travel data from one network to another network. So some examples of CDMA we can see where we use some kind of gates like XOR gates and NOR gates, which is helping across to travel the data from one bandwidth to another bandwidth, where we talk about your code division multiplexing algorithm. And we talk about your narrow band transmission. Narrow band transmission has different types of advantages as disadvantages. When you talk about the advantages of a narrow band transmission, efficient use of frequency is one of the important, and the advantages are maybe like you have a regular require regulations, and easier to inspect. So these are some of the cons when you talk about your narrow band transmission. And most important thing in your wireless access network is something called as your spread spectrum. So you know what we know what is spectrum. Spectrum is nothing but the allocation of signals over the satellite, which is helping across to come over the network to have the space as well as the frequency and the range also. So signals are over a large range of frequency, low power density, low power frequency signal appear as background noise are some of the examples when you talk about your wireless access network. So in a nutshell, what and all we had seen today is, we had seen what is a transmitter, what is a modulation, what is a frequency spectrum, we had seen what is an antenna, we had seen what is medium propagation attenuations, as well as we had seen what is the importance of something called as antennas, how antennas plays very important role in terms of your wireless access network. And not only that one, we had seen what is your demodulation, what are different types of constraints which is helping you across to overcome these constraints. We will be looking forward in the next classes how to overcome these kind of constraints, and which will be helping across to come over the wireless access networks. So thank you for watching. Okay, thank you.